Let's bring in Annelise Nielsen, who's been watching over developments this morning. Annelise, good morning to you. We'll continue watching these pictures. It's all run fairly smoothly this morning.
Look, it has. We're in the Capital One Arena. There's been a much more orderly entrance yesterday. The same event happened here with the Victory Rally. And frankly, it does seem like a lot of the issues yesterday were just due to the fact there was an ice hockey game here on Saturday night and they didn't have much time to flip the place around. So everyone seems like they're in a much better mood than they were yesterday, and they're very excited to see their president be sworn in again. The funny thing with having this event take place in the Capital One Arena, which is the largest arena in Washington, D.C., but still quite small given it's a metropolitan area with a capacity of around 20,000, is the room has a bit of a vibe of being at a sports match. As each picture's come on screen, we have people cheering and booing. Barack Obama just got a very big boo from this crowd as he walked in. And what we're seeing from people here is that they do know that they're really witnessing a moment in history, not just the fact that everything's so different than normal, watching how this is all playing out with the extreme weather forecast, which hasn't come in as badly as was feared, but it's still very cold nonetheless, and those winds can come out of nowhere and be extremely dangerous. So everyone seems very happy to be indoors and to watch the inauguration of Donald Trump as the 47th President of the United States.
Yeah. Annelise, the theme of this year's ceremony is Our Enduring Democracy, a Constitutional Promise, is what it's called. What difference do you think this speech will be, or what tone do you think the speech by Donald Trump will be today compared to the one from 8 years ago?
Well, look, the really interesting thing to watch in all this is so much of the discussion in the election campaign was that Donald Trump was on a revenge tour and he was here to burn the place down. And what we've seen so far isn't looking like that at all. Don't forget, he would joke constantly on the campaign trail that he was going to be a dictator just on day one, but only day one. And that was really to inflame his critics. What we've seen so far is nothing that looks like he's going to be doing that. What we have seen is his promise that there's going to be 200 executive orders coming through. Much of that will be winding back what the Biden administration policies were. But Pete, for what I've seen is the most iconic moment of the day so far, Donald Trump arriving at the White House to be greeted by Joe Biden, and Joe Biden saying to him, "Welcome home." Joe Biden's one legacy for his supporters was that he was the guy that got rid of Donald Trump. And he's obviously so bitter that he was pushed out, didn't get to run again. He's still convinced of the idea that he would have won the election if they'd only not pushed him out for Kamala Harris. There is obviously still that undercurrent to all this. And so for him to say welcome home, that is such a snub to all the people who backed him the first time around. And his legacy, if he'd really just stuck to that one term, as most people thought he would when he was running the first time, he could have done that. He really could have helped the party push back. But the fact he kept going so long, the fact they ignored so many obvious issues among the American public, the economy not being the least of their issues, this is his legacy now. The guy who says, welcome home to Donald Trump coming back to the White House.